I'll teach you something you won't forget.
Hello and welcome back here in Minecraft once again, and this time I am finally able to announce that I managed to recreate the automatic ghost block generator. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I suggest you check out the ghost block tutorial series on my channel. Even if you watch only the first video, you should have the basic knowledge that you need to understand what this here is all about. And even though the videos are a bit old and the quality isn't really that good, the information in them should still be valid anyways. But now to this new contraption over here, I am actually not gonna show or explain to you how this really works, and I'm gonna explain why in a second. I am gonna show you something about this though, and it's going to be the closing mechanism for this door. But at first I'm going to show you what it looks like. If you flick this lever, it will start the ghost block generator, and as you can see, this wall starts popping up. It does not work that fluently, and it sometimes takes a while until it starts, but this time it actually went pretty well. And as you can see, we have a complete wall here with actually some glass blocks in the middle. And you can actually have it with complete blocks of any type as you want. Doesn't really matter what type it is. And the closing mechanism, I think, is very special. It might look like I'm cheating or like I'm using some video editing tools, or like I'm using command block or anything, but it's actually just ghost block mechanics, and I'm going to explain that part in a second. But if I just push this button, as you can see, the wall just plainly disappears, and there is no trickery going on. It's not any kind of well, cutting the video or using command block or anything. It's just the wall disappearing. And that's the part that I'm going to explain in a second, but at first I'm going to explain why I'm not going to show you how the generator works. And the reason for that is very simple. The first time that I ever heard of an automatic ghost block generator was about a year ago, when a YouTuber named, let me think about the name, what was it again? It was DicoTheRedstoner, I think. And Dico actually made a video about such a contraption like this, with a door that closes with ghost blocks. It's just an automatic ghost block generator that closes the wall just like this one. But the ghost block generator, the automatic one, got fixed pretty quickly, so it wasn't really working anymore. And I want to avoid that. I'm actually currently in the 14W21B snapshot, and this already does still work in the 14W26C snapshot. I was not able to get it to work in 29C, which is, I think, the currently new snapshot, but it was very laggy anyway, so I couldn't get anything to work there. It doesn't matter if it was with ghost block or not. But anyways, so this should work in 1.8 if nothing changes. And I do not want it to get changed. I want it to be in 1.8 so I can use it in 1.8. And I don't want it to get fixed or anything. So I will keep this as a little secret until 1.8 comes out, which should be at the end of this year. And if it is still there at the end of the year or not, doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you how it works. But until then, I will go and show you the closing mechanism. And just to show you, this is actually a ghost block wall. I actually didn't show you that so far, but I'm just gonna wait. Okay, so actually you can see down there, it's actually already the whole wall in the ground. But if you right click it, the blocks disappear, and if you take a block and place it to the sides, the block disappears, and so on. It's just a general ghost block wall, and it's created automatically. So what I'm going to show you now is the closing mechanism, and I'm going to cut the video here so that you do not see what's around here or I'm actually gonna build a wall around that part that you shouldn't see, and I'll see you in a second. So here we are on the outside. As you can see, I have built some walls around the redstone so that I don't reveal anything. And you might notice that this is actually an old version of the anti-chamber map that I'm working on with my brother, but that doesn't really matter. It's not the topic right here. We want to talk about the mechanism which closes the door or deletes the ghost blocks or whatever. And here is the first reason why I fear that they might, and they of course are Mojang, that they might fix the automatic ghost block generator or ghost blocks in general in the next few snapshots or the 1.8 version. And that is that it seems like it has already become a lot harder to create ghost blocks at all. I can't get the old version of it to work anymore. The old way of getting ghost blocks does not seem to work in the new snapshots anymore, or at least I can't get it to work. But there are still ways to get ghost blocks. Of course, the new automatic version, the automatic way that I built, and there is a variation on the old method, and I'm going to show that really quick. So what you do is you activate the comparator clock, and then you place blocks from a low angle to a piston, and that is going to create a ghost block at some point. And I use redstone blocks and lamps to see where the ghost block is, because if you see a redstone block in front of a lamp and the lamp is not powered, that means that the redstone block has to be a ghost block. And it would look like something like this. And let's see, not a ghost block yet. Nope. Oh, no, this seems to take a little longer than usual. No. Okay, we'll try something a little bit different, just... Okay, so this time it seems like it's kind of hard to get any ghost block whatsoever, and that's what I meant. It's kind of hard to get ghost blocks in the new snapshots, and there is one. Great, so now we have one ghost block. But what if we need more? There is a great way of getting new ghost blocks if you have already a ghost block at hand, and that is by using ghost slime blocks. You can of course create slime blocks and ghost blocks out of slime blocks by just using slime blocks instead of the redstone block, just like I did a few seconds ago. It is a little bit harder to identify ghost blocks that way, but you can do that. But the easy way is to do it like this, that you actually know whether or not you have a ghost block, and then you use the simple method of pushing the ghost block of whatever type into the slime block, and then you will have a slime block with a in this case redstone block texture and a slime block ghost block. So this is a slime ghost block. This does not actually exist. I can show you that by using this. We're gonna put some redstone on here, and we're gonna use another slime block like this. So if I put, so as you can see, this is the same setup for both cases. This is a real slime block. It can actually let power through the slime block, but here there is no power going through the slime block, which indicates that it is actually a ghost block. So what you can do now with ghost blocks, with slime blocks, is you can push other slime blocks with a slime block. So if you do it like this, you can push one slime block and move a whole lot of other slime blocks. If you do not know about slime blocks yet, then they basically have the feature that they stick to all the blocks around them, as long as they are blocks which can generally be moved. And of course you have still the limitation that you can only move a total of 12 blocks, but that doesn't matter here. What you can do is I'm going to create the same setup down here. So this is the real slime block. I will put a blue block right there to signalize that. And what you do is you just add more slime blocks to the side, and you do that same thing on the ghost block. Of course, you do not need to do it with real blocks if you just want new ghost blocks. I just want to show you what actually happens. So the low one is actually the actual thing that happens, and what actually happens is, since this block does not exist, if you have a piston like that, what happens is this. Actually nothing. The piston just extends and that's all that happens. But since the ghost block makes the client think that the other blocks get moved as well, it will look like this for the player. So what happens is you will have these blocks which are still in the position that they were. So they are actually right here. If I place the redstone block to the side of this block, or actually if I place it on this block, it will actually turn into a slime block, because that's what there actually is. There is a slime block. And as you can see, if I try to move through those original positions of the slime blocks, I cannot get through, because the slime blocks are still there, because this actually it looks like this, but the actual setup is this. So the ghost blocks are still in this position and not in this position. So what I can do is I can just delete all the remaining slime blocks, the original ones, and now we have here, since these slime blocks were never pushed, we have here a few new slime ghost blocks. So these are now all ghost blocks. As you see, they are all ghost blocks here. And what you can do with this is you can find chunk borders, and this is actually going to be a main part of how this door works, the closing part at least, or the other way around. The closing part is what makes us able to find chunk borders with ghost blocks. So if we open up our coordinates, we can see the XYZ coordinates. Under that, under those we have the block coordinates, and at the third position we have the chunk coordinates. So we can see here we have the coordinates 9, 7, 11 as the the block in this current chunk, and the chunk that we are in is the chunk 97, 0, 96. So if we move to the side, we can see the chunk borders actually exactly here, which is not good. So what we will do, we will move those ghost blocks so that they are directly going over the border to the next chunk. And we're going to do that by simply pushing those ghost blocks like this. So now they should be on the border to the next chunk. Okay, so here's the border. You can see this is 9715 and this is 970, and the chunk here is 97096 and this chunk is 97097. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the border to the next chunk here with red and blue. So between those two blocks, that's where the border to the next chunk is. In this direction is one chunk and the other one is in this direction. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place a water bucket in the chunk that is marked with the red block. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the water source. And as you can see, as the water gets removed, the ghost blocks disappear. Please don't ask me why that happens. I have literally no clue at all. if you know anything about this, like for example that water checks for something in the chunk of the original source block or anything like that, when it disappears, please tell me. I have literally no idea what else there could be that happens. But there is actually something to this. Usually ghost blocks get destroyed by block updates. Of course, I think I have already shown that this does not account for redstone ore, I think. And the same thing happens here. This should not be because of updates, of block updates, and I can show that by using the redirecting redstone bug. If you do not know what this is, it's actually very simple. You have redstone which has a curve so that it does not get into, it never goes into the lamp. So if you power the redstone, it obviously does not power the lamp. But if you place a block here, it redirects the redstone into the lamp, but the lamp still does not turn on because it did not get an update. So if you now update the lamp, it turns on. So what we do is we have the unpowered lamp redirect the redstone, and if this actually the water source removing and the blocks disappearing is caused by a block update in the entire chunk, then the redstone lamp should turn on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a water source, I'm going to remove it, and as you can see, the ghost block disappears and the lamp is still off. So this is not because of block updates, and I have literally no clue why it happens and what is the mechanism behind it, but it does actually work, and it works just fine. I hope you can just once again show the ghost blocks just like that. This should be enough. So as you can see, these are actually ghost blocks, and if you press the button, there is a dispenser down there which puts water on the floor. It spreads out, and when it spreads out and it gets sucked back into the dispenser, the water disappears, which resets the ghost blocks for whatever reason that is. And that's what I wanted to show you. So now you have a mechanism that you can find chunk borders with the use of ghost blocks. And you can also look forward to the 1.8 version, and then I will actually reveal how this works if nobody else up to that point finds out their own way to do that and show that themselves. Otherwise, I will not reveal it until the 1.8 version, or if it is clear that it will be fixed anyways, of course. But until then, I hope you liked the video. I'll actually link the video of what's his name again? I'm sorry. DicoTheRedstoner, of course. I will link his video in the description, since this is actually, this video only exists because of his video of his ghost store. And yeah, I hope you liked the video, and of course it needed to start to rain, and see you in the next one.